everybody. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, so make sure that you support the channel so that we grow and we can have more time to research, we can have more time to give you more knowledge. Please subscribe and watch the videos. Hello and welcome to here again. Today the concept that we'll be talking about is The Power of Now, a book written by Eckhart Tolle. Since this book is a guide to the spiritual journey, spiritual enlightenment, so let's talk about 10 main ideas that you should make sure that you learn in this book, because it's all about those ideas. And the first one first, the first chapter of the book is talking about that you are not your mind. So everybody, we understand that a mind is something that is coming from a thought, or a thought is coming from the mind. There's no two parasitical relationship between the two. It's just mutual relationship between the mind and the thought. So a concept about you are not your mind is talking about that we must free ourselves from the mind. We must free the suffering that we have in the mind. So when we identify or we detach from the mind, we working towards the spiritual journey of what the book is talking about. It's talking about like enter the now from wherever you are. So channel the present moment from this moment. You don't have to say you're gonna do it. You have to meditate, then you're gonna start practicing the power of now. The power of now is the practice that you from this present moment, from right now, we are channeling in the flow and become one with the flow. So we are in the wholeness, we are in this conscious alignment of the galactic with the universe, or with ourselves, with our being. We are presently moment. We start being in the moment right now. No time, no any things, no procrastination, because those are things from the mind, and we don't have to identify with our mind. We have to free ourselves from the mind. That's the suffering. Number 3, the book of Power of Now. It tells us that the source of the pain, or the source of all the suffering, that where is it coming from? A source of all the pain, the negativity, the suffering that we experience in the life. The book, The Power of Now, it talks about that it's the source of them is emotion, and emotion is something which is of the mind, and we are not of the mind. So when you understand the emotion, because it's just energy in motion, when you understand that energy in motion is the one with us, we start making it the whole, we start making it the flow, to be living by our own flow that we give in the present moment, when we channel in the present of the power of now. This emotion, they are the source of pain and source of all the fears. So when you feel fear is something that is coming from the mind, and the power of now, it teaches us that nothing of us, or we are not our mind. We don't have to identify ourselves with the mind. The mind is not what we are. A mind, it's a play that is on our own awareness. When we're in the present time, in the present moment, when you start becoming one with the flow, with the one, where you don't feel the suffering, we don't feel the pain, we don't have the fear, because it's something that is in the mind. It's like childhood trauma, or only all the traumatic experience that we have experienced, whether we were a child or when we're growing up. So all those things are the suffering and the fear of the mind that we have identified with the mind, and our personality, or certain identification that we don't want to lose, that characteristics, because we identify with, we think we are those mind that we identify. So when we start living from the power of now, we don't have the suffering of the fear, or the pain, the mild, all become one in the flow of time, which is the present moment. That's the only time. Number 4, we have to let go of psychological time. This is what I'm saying. This is the 4th lesson. Psychological time is the source of all the suffering. Is the source of all what we don't want, the desires. It's a psychological time. When we talk about letting go of the psychological time, we talk about when we split the time, say there's a future, there's a past, and there's a present. Those are all not, they don't exist, they exist in the now. We give them, those are labeled. We are saying beyond the words. These are the words that we give, and they're given meaning to give the delusion in our mind, because these are the language of the mind, when the mind is given to the world and to the man, so that they can live with it. This is the journey that we have been channeled to live. But when we awaken from the true inner self of our deeper state of the present moment, we start realizing like all this at time, it doesn't exist. There's no time of the future, there's no past, there is no present. It's just the flow, one, oneness. The time is just the, when there's a word, seeing the words, there's a words, and there's a space between the space of the words. It's where we can find ourselves when we let go of the time, because time is also deceived by the language of the mind, which is the words. Number five is quantum leap into the evolution of the consciousness. So when you start living from the present of moment, we are awakening, we are starting to evolve, we are evolving the spark, the light of the consciousness that is inside the present moment. This is the light that sees all the imagination, light that sees all the world, all the sun, all the stars, all the moon, the being. It's all rooted from the present moment. So we evolve. There's a evolving or evolution of the consciousness. We're taking the quantum leap from the lower energy level to the higher energy state of the mind, which is transcend. And that mind, when it's transcend, it melts and just become the flow, one with the present moment. There's nothing which is of man anymore, or the identification of the personality. The mind, it's let go. We let go of the mind. We realize like we are big. We are the one that is existing in the present moment right now. There's nothing else. We are here. Here is where the life is. Here is where the breath is. We live from the present moment, which is now. This is what the book of the power of now, it teaches us, that we take the quantum or evolution leap from the higher electrons to the higher electrons to the higher electrons. There's a transition. There's a quantum leap. Number six. Number six. It talks about the loss of the now. Because now is the word, so we will step in the quantum leap and evolve. So when we evolve, there's a loss of now. Now as a word, it doesn't exist. It's where we're gonna figure out like we're living in the fifth dimension world, or we transit to the higher dimension of the being. We are entering the new realm of the spiritual enlightenment. So when we live here, the time, the mind, the personality, the suffering, the worry, all this negative, they don't exist anymore. We start living, we enter from this moment from everywhere where we are everywhere is just the time that is existing. There's a higher evolution of a man. We just, there's no more any time, there's no any mind, there's no nothing which is outside of the now. We are living in the now. There's nothing that is existing outside of the now. Now is all that we have. There's nothing else. Now is the time that we have. There's no right time. This is the time that only exists. And when you get in this state of present moment in the now, we live filled with the happiness, we filled with the life, we're starting to be feeling alive. There's a transition, we're stepping into the higher level of ourselves. So number seven, the 7 things that we have to learn in the power of now, the book. We should transcend the present moment. And in this present moment, which is like the core delusion of the mind or of the world or of this dimension that of time, which is 3 dimension, the 7 things that you must learn is that everything you have to be living from the inner body. The inner body is where you are connecting with the presently. You are just there. The present moment is identified. It have developed or it have been reproduced because it have only been here. So we're looking beyond the words. We're living beyond the words. We're letting the breath taking us to the present moment. Everything that we are living on in this present moment is our whole purpose. So we are finding our own purpose when we're living from the inner body. That's where we find the Buddha. The Buddha have awakened. Everything that we're living is just taken care. We just in the flow. We are in the purpose of life. We are living the life. We are getting the gift from the life, no suffering. We are living our own purpose. We figure out who we are. We're living all the activity that we engage, all the people surround us, everything that our own environment or the space is being created by the life that is coming from our own purpose, so that we can fulfill the living that is happening in that or the energy that is happening there. We are here to transcend the life, the spin of the creation, or the conscious when it's in the dynamic flow. This is the flow of the present moment. we transcend the life. The life is existing right there. We are in the peace. We are in the peace with ourselves. We are allowing the breathe and out to take the present moment and let us live. We are being transcended. We are being guided by the breath. The breath is taking us from the moment to moment. So the eighth step that is happening when we awaken to the power of now, or when you understanding the power of now, these are the things that you should understand. And since we talk about on number 7, that there's a enlightenment or the evolution that is happening to our own life, to our own space, through the aura that is surrounding us, is the one that is projecting back. What we give is what we're getting. The principle of the universe is taking course on the conscious state of the mind. So the event, since it should be influenced the people that are around us, since we have to be in a relationship with the world around us. So we have been transcended our own relationship, it have been enlightened. So in this enlightenment of the relationship or the event with the things and the people around us, we transcend the love and hate relationship. That love and hate relationship is the mind. It doesn't exist. We love people identical. The nature is taking its course. Things are happening in the flow. So the relationship people that we become with is the people that are the truth with our own self, with our own inner body. The inner body is awakened and it's experiencing the life that we are. Yeah, we are living in the addiction. We are freeing the suffering of seeking for the wholeness or the oneness that we seek in other people, seeking going in the relationship so that we can try to find our own self, trying to find the peace that we think they are on other people, because we are seeking, we are feeling that we are not all. We are trying to say we seek for the twin flames, the soulmate, things of the time, things that we think is of the past life, things that we think we have lost them, we need to regain, because we believe in a fate. A fate is taking its own course when we are living in the present of now. We have our own true people that resonate with our own energy level, with our aura, and each and every level each and every level of our own self. So each and every level that we awaken to, we're gonna attract things of that level, because we are one with everything. We are not separated to anything. Then number 9, we enter the state of compassion, kindness, empathy. We feel for the other people. We look at the tree and we see ourselves. We look at the world, we see ourselves. We look at other people, we see ourselves. There's nothing that is separate from our own self. So we figure out, like, beyond the happiness and unhappiness, there is all peace. There's nothing which is separate from us. We're starting to live the life that is we living. We are guiding this life. There's nothing that is separated from us. On the happiness, and happiness is the state of mind. And when we figure out, like, we are not mind anymore, then the happiness and unhappiness is just the emotion. It's just the emotion that we believe is the dualism, and we are beyond the principle of the world. We are no longer guided by the schism or the things that we think that govern the world. We are the one that is governing the world. We are just in the present moment. We are in peace. We are just in harmony. We are in the flow with the world. The world is all that is all us. The world around us is us. There's nothing that is separate from us. We figure out this is the truth. This is the truth. There's no happiness. There's no unhappiness. It's the creation of the mind that creates the different. And with that different is the different that we're giving. And when we start giving, we are living, seeing beyond the world. And the 10, you see 10 it can give me the pyramid. The 10 step that we should understand in this book is awakening, is the transcendental meditation. Study Ramana Maharsh. It's a yogi. When you study Ramana Maharshi, you're gonna understand transcendental meditation. And in this transcendental meditation, this is the last things that you should understand in the book, because you're transcending the mind energy to a spiritual energy. So we're taking the mind energy to a spiritual energy, the energy that we give with our thought, the energy that we spend most of the time when we're thinking. The smartest people that are inventors, smart in a technological way, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, all these people, Jeff Bezos, the richest people, they make list of the thought or the decision, the choice that they're gonna act throughout the day. So we are transcending, we are taking the mind energy to a spiritual energy. So when we're living in a spiritual energy, this is where the awakening is. We are accepting the now, that the power, we are all living from the being is taking course. We are living from the being. The being is awakening to the world that we want to see. This is the world that we are when we are living with in the power of now. We should be able to understand these elements. We should be able to understand in this reading. It's all in the book. Buy the book, read the book. Please subscribe, like, so that you can get some more content with the different books, so that you can learn, you can make summary for the book. It's the better, the easy. Have a beautiful day. Have a lovely life.